So, this is the first round game. To give a little context to those who weren't here for the first 2 minutes of the stream, the tournament started at 10 a.m. Eastern time, which is 9 a.m. my time. And if you've been watching me for a while, you know I'm not a morning person at all. So that was already a struggle. And I really didn't sleep well at all the night before. I was staying at a friend's house. I'm sure, amped up for the tournament. So I probably slept about 4 hours total. Managed to get to the chess center in time in the morning. So the whole day I was pretty exhausted. But I still managed to, play semi-reasonable chess, I guess. My opponent in the first game is an older gentleman. I was talking to him after the game, and he's in his 80s. I'm pretty sure he said he was born in 1936, so by my math, that would be 84, 85. And I was looking at his USCF card, or whatever it's called, and he's at his rating floor right now, 1500. Actually, I can pull it up. He was, several hundred points higher rated back in the day. Let's see if I can find him. Yeah, so his peak... So he has a USCF history all the way back to 1992 or so, it looks like. And he was 1761 at that point. And it's been sort of down, down, down from there. So he could have been even better, I don't know. But 1761 is the peak that I see for him. No, 36, Tom. I'm pretty sure he said 36. It's possible he said 46 and I misheard him. But I believe he said he was born in 1936. Okay, so anyway, I was black. He played e4. I played c5 like I always do. He played knight c3, so I don't really know these lines necessarily, depending on what he does, but I played knight c6, basically whichever knight they move out. Yeah, then he brought out this knight to f3. I played g6 to try to transpose into an accelerated dragon, which did happen because he played d4. Took, and now this is just like a normal accelerated dragon position. The knight is attacked. I keep waiting for one of my opponents to just like miss that this knight's attacked, but they never do. I don't know why. So he defended it. I brought out my knight to f6. I think this is just like the total main line, unless you count the Maratsi bind as the main line, which I don't know technically which is. Bishop c4 is normal, and I castled, I think. Yeah. And here, is this where he played a really weird move? I think so. Let's see what he did. Yeah, he played rook b1. I don't get rook b1 at all. I don't know. Like, maybe he wants to push this? I don't know what else rook b1 could be about. I mean, he's getting off this diagonal. But I don't know. Rook b1 seems kind of strange to me. I believe the main move is bishop b3. Let me peek at the opening book here. Yeah, bishop b3 is like 99% of the games. So yeah, rook b1... I kind of was thinking like, okay, that's probably a bad move, but I don't really have like a specific way to punish it. So I wasn't sure what to do. And I played a little passively, I think. What was the score in this tournament? I scored 3.5 out of 5. I tied for second place. And how's it going, bouncing? So I played a6. I can't really remember what all I looked at here. I know I had a much better move because I realized it next move and I played it. But I think I was just thinking like, I'll play b5. His pieces can't come to b5. I'll fianchetto my bishop. I don't know. It was kind of a slow move, but this was a slow move, so I felt like it was not, no loss really. So, yeah, it was a good result for me. The tournament's already been rated, and my rating looks like it will go up from... It was 1623 beforehand, and it's going up to 1669. But yeah, my understanding is that the tournaments get re-rated on Tuesdays, and sometimes things can change. So I don't know how all that works, but maybe that'll be some difference. But as of now, it's at 1669. Yeah, so 46 points from one tournament. I don't know. That seems good. But okay, trying to remember what he did here, since I have the moves hidden. Even I don't know. I guess I have the score sheets right here, so that might help me. Okay, yeah, he also played slow. Hey, how's it going, Pam? Thank you for the bits.
Karen from Louisiana? Just wondering.
Do I know Karen from Louisiana? I don't think I know any Karens from Louisiana. I think Karen at the ATL Chess Club is like the only Karen that I... No, I know another Karen. But I wouldn't say I really know that Karen. I just like know of her and have met her a few times. So I don't think that I know any Karens from Louisiana. You made a similar mistake bouncing? Interesting. Dragendorf, yeah. Ben's Karen. But Ben's Karen isn't from Louisiana. Ben's Karen's from Alabama, the greatest state in the Union. And I do know her now, if that's who you're talking about. I mean, I guess I knew her before, but I've met her in person now. So now I definitely know her. Okay, so I think he played A3, and I think he was worried about B5, and he wanted a place for his bishop to go back, and he didn't want me to play B5, B4, although I guess I still can. You got Rex playing A6 and a Sicilian Dragon. Now, did your opponent play Rook B1, wasting a tempo? That's exactly correct, Wilsonia. Okay, so at this point, I realized that I had a tactical shot that I had in the previous position, but that I missed. And actually, if I can go back, when he played this, I was also thinking the normal move is Bishop B3. So what's the difference? Like, how can I try to punish him not playing Bishop B3? And I couldn't figure it out. And then I don't remember. I think it may have been while it was his turn and I was thinking that I remembered, oh yeah, now I know why they're supposed to play Bishop B3. So I have a very common opening trick in this position that is pretty good. Well, I mean, it's not like winning, but I'll have to look at what the computer says, but I think that it just gives, it at least equalizes for black, and I don't know, probably black has some advantage. But the trick is to take this pawn. Which is what happened. He takes back, and I land this fork, so I'm gonna get my piece back. Okay, so let's quickly look at what the computer says. I'm gonna guess that black's like a hair better. Yeah, it says minus 0.3. I've had the server evaluation run already, so... Okay, minus 0.3 is good. So he made a strange decision here, I thought. I think a normal way to continue would be to take this pawn. That way you're not down a pawn. You're going to lose the piece anyway. And then I don't know what he should do from here. But, you know, I mean, I managed to trade. You know, I've still got a center pawn. He's lost his center pawn. So I've got the bishop pair. So I guess black should have some small advantage. But it's a position he can, definitely fight, of course. But he did the same thing, but he took the a6 pawn, which just seems clearly worse to me, because I mean, now I have 2-0 in the center, and this is still hanging. I can start pushing my pawns, and I took with the rook, and now my rook is on an open line, which isn't really too relevant yet, since a3 is rock solid. But I guess maybe the reason he did this is he was hoping for pawn takes and that my knight would hang, which is not a correct reason to do something, but I mean, maybe that's what he was thinking. So I don't know. That is, I mean, the computer, already this is saying, what is this, +3 for black? Oh, -5. Yeah, so not good. So I took with the rook because I knew what was up. Wait, why does it say inaccurate? It wants me to like throw in this first or take this. Oh, I think I looked at this after the game, but I can't remember what was so good. But there's some better line here. Oh, I know what. So, when I take this, his bishop's hanging, and now my queen has a discovered attack on his knight. It also might be... I think I have to take this knight somehow first. I think the computer recommends this. I don't know why the bishop's better than the knight, but... bishop takes, then take this. And now he's got 2 pieces hanging. If I just take this first, he can interpose knight takes knight. So, yeah, I just didn't look at that. But, yeah, I think... I don't know if there's a difference between knight takes knight and bishop takes knight. So knight takes knight... Oh, I think there is a difference. Because, again, he can interpose this exchange. So we don't want that. We want bishop takes. And now there's nothing for this bishop to do. Both bishops are hanging. Oh, the time control. The time control was game in 90 with a 5-second delay. So easily the longest games I've ever played. You know. But it was nice. I mean, I was never in time trouble like the whole tournament. I think game 2 I got under like 10 minutes or so, but was never in a serious time crunch. So that was an oversight on my part. Okay, he played rook c5 to attack the rook. I think I thought about this move e5, and I think the computer says it's good. But you know, just doesn't. I knew I already had a good position, so I didn't want to like risk rocking the boat, I think. So I just moved my rook back. Any other square for the rook can sort of allow for shenanigans, I think. Obviously, it's hanging here. If I go here, maybe there's this, maybe there's this, maybe there's this, maybe there's this. I guess the queen one doesn't work. But, and then here I'm on the line with this, and this happens. So I was like, okay, whatever, rook a8. Which it says is a blunder. So I don't know what it... Oh, I think it does say e5 is the best. I think that's what it likes. Okay, I guess I'm gonna have to look at the computer line, so hopefully you guys won't look too far ahead. Queen a5. Yeah, that's also... but he can play b4, right? And I take it. Yeah, it's probably not too bad. And it's suggesting knight e2. So what happens if we take the rook? I guess if he takes the rook, I take this. And he's again in this situation where he's got 2 pieces hanging. So I'm going to be up 2 pieces for a rook. Unless I am mistaken, which is likely. Okay, so moving back, not as good, but still much better. I don't know, maybe you consider this winning. For me, it's probably just much better. But he castled, which it doesn't like. And then it also doesn't like my move e5. Yeah, it keeps wanting to like trade stuff. But I don't know why. I mean, I guess the more I trade, the more pronounced my advantage will be. Because these pawns are, you know, better than their counterparts, so. Yeah, there's a lot of computer not approved moves. So we proved that we weren't cheating, which that's good, I guess. Okay, and he played knight e2. Yeah, it wants him to trade, I think, because his pieces are just kind of getting kicked around, and I mean the knight on e2 is not doing anything. It's just in the way. So he probably should just trade and kind of free himself up a little bit. But He didn't, and I kept marching my pawns. D4. Bishop D2 is basically the only move that makes sense, I think. Yeah, and this was my plan when I played D4, was to play Queen D5, which obviously threatens the knight right away. But I also just thought this is a fantastic square for the queen. It's sort of rare to get a good square for the queen in the center of the board where it's not going to be harassed, but like how does he harass my queen? Like maybe in some situation he can play C4 where en passant wouldn't work if this bishop's not here. Which I think actually like almost happened in the game but didn't. So he moved the knight back. Yeah, and I wanted to get this battery going because I like caveman chess. So I actually thought for a decent amount of time here, do I want to play B6 or B5? And I really don't know which is better, or if it matters. But I played B6. I just felt like maybe the pawn is slightly more vulnerable on B5. Like maybe this knight comes here one day somehow. It probably doesn't matter much. I mean, if we get to an end game, you know, I kind of save a tempo by playing B5. So what does the computer want? E4, F5. I like F5. I didn't consider F5. Yeah, it likes B6. What does it think of B5? Yeah, it says that's like decently worse, but I don't know why. Yeah, if Scottish Demon Goat were here, he would be, you know, really proud that I played B6 instead of B5. Okay, so I played B6, Scottish Demon Goat style. And I just didn't know what he was gonna do here. Like, what is his plan? How does he, I mean, what's going on? What is this? So one potential plan that I saw for him that I thought was bad was, okay, maybe he'll try to open his rook up, and he'll try to break down my center with F4. And then I was like, F4, that can't be any good. And then he played F4. And the computer says that's not any good. And I punished, I guess, by playing E4. And now, I mean, I have a passed pawn. This pawn has a lot of potential targets. You know, these pawns are just incredibly strong. So this is already pretty crushing. He played knight b4, which attacks my queen, so I have to do something. But I figured this wasn't really even a big deal because I want to get this battery going, so this knight needs to move anyway. So might as well, you know, trade it off. Now my rook is attacked, and I was sort of aware of the c4 idea, which may or may not be any good. So I figured it might be nice to defend my queen. My rook's attacked. Rook d8. Which I think the computer likes. And again, he's kind of in this position where... What do you do? This is just incredible for black, so... Yeah, that's definitely true, bouncing. Definitely true. So he played knight g3, which I guess makes sense, because you gotta try to do something with your pieces, but... I mean, where's he going? I played bishop b7 to do my caveman plan. I think he wanted to defend this, or pre-fend it, so he played queen e2, and my eyes lit up because I saw that I could do this. And that's what I did. I played bishop a3, or a6. And then after I did it, this is what happened. I played bishop a6, and then he played queen takes e4, and then I never saw queen takes e4. I don't know, I didn't see it. I was so excited about attacking, I think, and, you know, winning the exchange, I just didn't see queen e4. So then, when he played queen e4, I was thinking to myself, like, probably I shouldn't have even done bishop a6. Like, this bishop's better than this rook, so why even do it? And I think that like general thought even crossed my mind. But, you know, it's a tournament game. I don't have a lot of tournament experience. I got 4 hours of sleep the previous night. I have a great position. I figure if I'm up material too, I'm just gonna win. So bishop a6 just felt like sort of the risk-free way. But it seems kind of silly to let him take out this pawn. And the computer agrees with me, like, this is inaccurate or not so good. So yeah, it's forgivable, but I sort of figure that the computer was going to say it's not the most accurate, but whatever. Yeah, I'm just going to be up material. And actually, as it turns out, like, after everything gets traded, the endgame is just, like, completely unholdable for white, so I took the rook because I figured, why am I going to initiate this queen trade and actually get his knight to a decent square? So I took the rook. He exchanged queens, which I think the computer likes, but I don't know. It seems kind of strategically wrong to me. I mean, I guess, you know, he can't really avoid it. Ah, it's a raid from Will. It's a Scrabble raid. One of my favorite types of raids. Shout out to Wanderer. And a sub from Wanderer, thank you. Okay, so yeah, I was saying I thought maybe he shouldn't trade queens because this endgame is just terrible for white, but I mean, what else are you gonna do? You're gonna take the bishop, then I guess I'll trade queens and I'll just win this endgame. So thank you, Ben. Yeah, this was I'm very pleased with how I did in the tournament. And I had a couple really nice games in round 4 and round 5 that I'm excited to show. Okay, so he traded queens first, then he took with the king, which I assume is right, because, I don't know, it's an endgame. Maybe you want to bring the king up one day, but... so at this point, you know, I kind of realized, like, okay, I'm better, but maybe it's not overwhelmingly better, and, you know, I was like, okay, am I gonna have to win the game again? But then I found, I think, a pretty strong idea. You know, if you kind of just take stock of the position and look at what's defended and what's not defended, you know, I think these are the undefended things, unless I'm wrong. I guess this isn't defended. But of those, it's kind of hard to attack all of them except for this one. That one's pretty easy to attack, so that's what I did. And there's not really a good way to defend, which is what I eventually realized. I thought he should play c3, and I would play d3, and then I've got to pass pawn, and then I must be winning. Maybe there's... I mean, maybe I could even just take, and I'm up another... Ah, but I guess this pawn falls. So maybe we can't do all that. Yeah, all the PGNs are uploaded. Yes, indeed. The other way to defend this pawn directly is what he did. He played rook c1, which I thought was bad, because I can play d3, and there's a little pin here, so he can't take. So he kind of helped me play d3, and now this pawn's hanging. So now he played c3. What did I do here? Yeah, now I shifted my focus to this undefended pawn, bishop h6, and also there's a nice prize behind the pawn, you know, so that's pretty nice also. And again, there's not really a good way to defend this pawn, because if you move it, your rook hangs, and the only other way I see to defend it is knight here, but that's taken. I mean, here, that, you know, so there's just nothing to do about this pawn. Any notation hiccups? I don't think so. If there were, I figured them out when I entered it in and didn't even notice, so yeah, I think I got the notation down pretty well. Okay, so I think he realized he can't defend the pawn. The rook's about to be hit, so he moved the rook to try to stop this pawn. I took the pawn, so now the pawns are equal, but I'm up in exchange, and this pawn's gonna queen. So, I mean, it's just, you know, a pretty technical win, let's say. It still requires some doing. He played knight e4. I guess he didn't want me to take and double up his pawns, which I don't even know if I would have done, but... yeah, oh, that's right. I almost missed this over the board, too. He's threatening this fork, which that would have been unfortunate, because then I'd be losing. But I did see it. So I played king g7. That stops the fork. He played g3 to kick my bishop. I actually thought for a while here about where I should put my bishop. You know, it's nice to control this square because we want to push the pawn. So it felt like I should keep it on this diagonal. This is not a super active looking square though. I imagine it's fine. The other option was bishop e3, which is what I did. But for a while I was just worried, like, you know, bishop's undefended. It's kind of in his house. It's a little cramped. I can't go here. I don't really want to go here and let him trade off and then he has a passer. Well, I guess, yeah, I mean, with the knight here. So, but I did some calculation. I was like, how's he even going to attack that bishop? You know, my king and, or my bishop and pawn box out his king quite nicely. And if he tries to come around this way, I probably can just go rook here. So, he played knight d2. I'm trying to remember. I guess he just wanted to blockade the pawn. I mean, that's pretty typical to try to blockade the pawn with a knight. And then I remember looking at stuff like taking and like, okay, am I going to win that position? I assume I am. But then I realized that I actually have mating ideas here, which I had not noticed previously. So now we get to just attack his king, which is a fun part of the game. So rook f5 check. This move, absent everything else, might look the most natural, but rook check would then pick up the knight. So he can't go there. So the only other move is rook or a king e1, which is what he played. And during the game, or like before he played king e1, you know, I saw he had to play king e1. And what was my intention? I think my intention was to play rook f2. Can't remember. I know that I didn't see the move that I ended up playing. But basically when this position arose on the board, I realized that rook e8 was really strong, because, I mean, you know, I'm threatening this is going to be mate. So, you know, that looked pretty good. I can't remember what I was thinking. I think I was going to go here, and I mean, the thing about rook f2 is I'm threatening to check him, and then when he moves, I can pick up the knight. But I don't know if I was thinking that. I mean, also this pawn's hanging. It probably doesn't matter. I mean, probably rook f2's completely winning too, but... Oh, I think I did think bishop f2. Yeah, that is what I was thinking. I was thinking bishop f2, then he has to go here, then I take, and then I was kind of getting hazy around here. But I was like, okay, I won a pawn. Things still look great. But he's like sort of, you know, he's out of the mating net. But I think, but that's definitely what I was thinking. I was looking at this position. And I don't remember if I made any conclusions about this position, but you know, this is obviously terrible also for him. But anyway, rook e8 has to be much better. And the computer doesn't announce mate here, so I'm actually not sure. He played rook b1, and he wants to just give his king a square, but that doesn't help at all, because king can't run here, so he's still running into like a corridor mate. It says he should have played knight e4. Exclam. Yeah, I guess the point is he's going to take the pawn next. I guess that's the idea. But, I mean, I'll take it. So, maybe he saw that he could do that and was like, oh, I'm not doing that. Okay, so now it's a relatively easy mate. I think either of these moves work. We want to discover check the king. And we want to make sure this rook is still open. And we want to keep pressure on this knight. So I picked one of them. He played... I guess this move is legal, but not very good. So he played king d1. And then I played the finishing move, rook e2. And the threat now is... You know, we want to play rook f1 mate, but this knight is defending, so I'm just going to take the knight, and then then I'll play mate. So there's no defense to that. If I play bishop takes first, then the king can come up. The pawn's undefended, so he's sort of slithering out, but this way there's just no escape. These pieces are completely useless. This one is too. Because if he moves the knight to save it, then this is mate. So he resigned at this point. He knew there was nothing to do. So that was a pretty good game overall. Obviously a good win. The computer says I had 3 inaccuracies, 1 mistake, 1 blunder, 40 Cinnapon loss. And I think my blunder was like here earlier where oh, it says that's my blunder? Yeah, this should have been a blunder. So it says this is only inaccurate. But this is like a difference between, having a good position and just being up a piece. Like, isn't this move just up a piece? Oh, wait. Yeah, bishop d4 is best. Yeah, I mean, this line we're just going to be up a piece. So, I don't know, that seems like this should be a blunder to me. Taking with the rook, but still good. So it says my blunder was actually going back. Okay, yeah, so what was the deal here? It just really likes e4, or e5. Yeah, it says e5 is just really strong. Okay, I mean, I don't really... I'm not good enough to do that, so... I don't really care too much about that one, I think. But okay, so that was game 1.